slick, and now also we see that population in the army tab for both players at all times now. So that's always nice. And Will immediately throwing down a pylon outside of his natural, so he's planning for an expansion. And I wouldn't be surprised if Hemlock just went for a 15 hatchery or 16 hatchery again, because this map is just so large and macro built that it's just hard not to expand first.
Yeah, he wants to play it safe. Definitely don't want to take too many risks. Not going to pull early over on this map. And with that pylon there, he's going to go probably pop down a Forge soon, right? Let's see if he does the Forge expand. And there goes the probe. He does have enough minerals right now. Yeah, he does. Gateway, actually. Gateway is a super wide ramp over by the natural, so he will need to defend it quite well.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Forge soon, though. He probably just wants to get that Gateway as soon as possible to get a Zealot, just in case of any early Zergling play, but I do think we'll probably see a Forge relatively soon. And meanwhile, the hatchery has gone down for Hemlock, so he is going to expand first. Very safe here on this map, as we were just talking about, and there goes the Forge.
Forge goes down right as Hemlock scouts with his drone, sees there's no Nexus yet in the natural, does now know what the Protoss is up to. His hatchery did go up a little bit earlier, and Zerg definitely needs that second hatchery out. He has to get an extractor. No spawning pool yet, I think, over on Hemlock's side.
They got an extractor first, so he perhaps, after seeing the wall off going on, he could try for some kind of early speed upgrade for his Zerglings, perhaps, or he's just forgotten to put his pool down. He's got 280, almost 300 minerals. I have to think that he's just forgotten to put his spawning pool down, or he thought that he did and didn't. Oh,
that's going to be rather unfortunate. He needs that pool down right now. No, he's actually...
Oh, wait. He's put a proxy hatchery down in the base of Will, is what the resources were doing.
Oh my goodness. You're right. Behind enemy lines. See if Will spots that at all. Actually does not. Wait. No, he doesn't. Definitely does not see that. But once the creep spreads, that will be it. But this hatchery is going to do nothing without the spawning pool. And Will's his probe is still in Hemlock's base, walking around, still sees no spawning pool. He has no something's up. These high-level players do not make mistakes like this, and Will does have his block off done. Does have a photon cannon and one zealot. One zealot right now could just walk there if he sees. Oh, and the two zealots actually moving back toward the back of the base. They might know what's up.
Yeah, and they're going to go ahead and find.
Oh no, this is not good for Hemlock at all.
And look, they're going to preemptive cannon to deal with this, and actually the hatchery is canceled before it finishes, so that was close. And so now I think things are going to kind of settle back down, but that would have been an interesting little play there. And now canceling that cannon leaves the pylon. That's fine to leave the pylon there, but that was a good catch. And as you said, Norm, the reason he just went up there wasn't that he's listening to the stream or that he's psychic. It's just that he's a good player, and he realized, hey, where the heck is that spawning pool? It should, if there's no reason at all unless there's some kind of shenanigans. And then he realized, hey, there's this huge space up here on this map that I haven't even checked out yet. Let's see what's up there, and sure enough.
Yep, spawning pool does go down right now, and researching metabolic boost for movement for Lings, and right now Hemlock is in a fairly bad position. He needs to get some units out. If you look at the drone count, or the income, he's actually mining a little bit more. He did have his hatchery down faster in that Nexus, popping down 2 spine crawlers just in case. But, it wouldn't be too prudent for him, actually, just to go for another expansion.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got 27. He's up 8 workers right now. And there's only 3 zealots on the map, so there's no really danger right now, especially when he saw that wall off and more cannons going down, so Will really not making any plans to attack just yet. So definitely could get some units out and start chipping away at those rocks at his third base there and make plans to take that third. And we do see Will moving a probe up there, so perhaps he'll think of stationing up there just to make sure that there is no third yet, because some really aggressive Zerg players would take a third by now, even.
Absolutely. Ton of minerals over on extra minerals over on Hemlock's side. That probe actually just taking some minerals and hanging out. You're right, just spotting just to see if there's no third. I mean, he doesn't even need to go for right there for the third. He could put it down anywhere pretty much, as long as Will doesn't scout well. But Will definitely doing a little more scouting, researching Warp right now, chrono boosting just the right thing, getting weapons 1. This is perfect. He's playing a perfect game. His next is actually done, and he has probes coming out of that. He's going to catch up in income very soon. You look at the harvesters, 39 to 26. A few chrono boosts will fix that, and Will just playing the going for the mid game.
Yeah, Will doing a fantastic job with Chrono Boost. Chrono Boost very low for both of his Nexus right now. He does have one saved up right now, and there it goes spending it, so he's just keeping his energy very low on both Nexus, and now warping out that last bit of Warp Gate tech. So really good job from Will there, and I'm looking forward to him continuing to do that. Now, starting to close that gap, 30 probes to 40 drones. He does need to catch up as quickly as possible, though, because that Zerg player could continue to drone, and it could get a little out of hand. But for now, I think Will's still in a comfortable spot.
Yeah, Zerg, just so many drones, 49 to 32. You know, he has so many extra minerals, 600 extra minerals, actually popping out 6 roaches right now. I would say, play it safe, either go for the base or go for some upgrades. Upgrade your lings, upgrade your roaches, get some burrow, just so you have a little bit of a tactical advantage when the first engagement does come. Having these extra minerals here right now, he's almost going to be supply box, 74 or 76. He needs to spend that money right now while he's ahead. Otherwise, getting that hatchery up early isn't going to mean anything. He's actually oversaturated on his natural already.
Wow.
So he's way oversaturated, actually popping down Hydralisk Den right now. So he looks like he might be going for Hydralisk. I think he needs to take a third base, spend the money. 700 minerals for Hemlock, only 100 right now stored up for Will.
Yeah, that's way too many minerals saved up. We can see that Will's playing a much smoother game right now, and yeah, it's way too many drones. 53. Both mineral lines totally saturated, and he needs to be on a third base right now if he's going to be doing that, because at this point he's going to mine out too quickly at his main and his natural. Now double Evo chambers going down. He's trying to find ways to spend his money. Burrow and roach speed being researched, more roaches in production, but needs to keep that mineral count low, and more hatcheries is the way to do it. And there's a third hatchery now at the, looks like the 3 o'clock spot down there, so not even going to bother with the destructible rocks.
Yep, there it goes. That's actually a fair place to put a put a hatchery. It's shielded. I don't think Protoss is going to be likely to scout that position or assume that the base is there. But it is a long walk.
He is actually about to scout. If you look at this probe in the bottom, he's got it on a patrol right now, and it's scouting all these small bases. I think he was nervous about that initial hatchery in his base, and he's wondering if his opponent's going to be tossing hatcheries all over the map, and he's going to find this third base going down.
Just an excellent job by Will. Just getting situational awareness, even with no robo right now. He's actually going for 2 Stargates with no observer on the field to scout. Usually, he's about 1 probe, paying for itself. All those 50 minerals for that information, such a good deal.
I agree completely there, and it's fantastic that he knows about that third base already. And with those Void Rays coming out, that's going to be fantastic at this point. Although you did say the Hydra Den is complete and the Hydra range is just about finished up, so that might not be the best thing for the Void Rays right now. Those Hydras are going to do a lot of damage, and now +1's going down at the Evo chamber, almost finished as well.
So right now, Hemlock actually needs to pop down. I think he needs definitely a couple more spine crawlers and maybe a spore crawler over by his third base. He has so many minerals, 1,300 minerals, running low on gas. Need to get those extractors out as soon as possible and transition over to Hydras. He's actually not doing a very great job with his creep spread. He needs maybe another queen. He actually has 2 hatcheries by his natural. Pop another queen out, produce another queen, get some creep tumors out, spread, because you need Hydras on creep. They're so slow, so weak off creep, even though their DPS is so high, and he just needs. I mean, he's beating Will right now in army count and in the resource count, but that's not going to last for long because once Protoss tech's up, that's it.
Yeah, I must have missed something, but look at the unit tab now. All these structures that have been built, drone count down to 47, and the probe count now 59. So a total swing in favor of the Protoss now, and the Zerg players behind on the worker count. And now it's the Protoss' turn to take a third base here, or else he's going to be in trouble.
Yeah, the Protoss actually, it's one of those things you're just very instinctual. You bind your Nexus to a hotkey, all your Nexi to a hotkey, and if you're not producing, you're just going to produce probes, because you just need to spend as much money as possible. I think Will's doing a much better job just spending his money. If you look at the resource counter, he's always below 400, 500 on both his gas and his minerals. And you're right, he does get the Nexus down right now, and he's going to be able to transition perfectly, almost saturate that third base. Perfect timing, just as his main base gets mined out. He can even take a fourth base right now just to make sure he macros up properly. And if you look at the army count, still very close, 132, 125. Zerg just a little bit ahead, but he does have 1-1 on both his Roach and his Hydras. And right now, Protoss staying calm. He's only down on the army count because he's not building his army yet. A ton of lots. Between Zealots, which I think they have charged and do not have charged yet. Between Zealots and these Void Rays, he'll be able to defend any push up the front.
Yeah, absolutely. And I liked what you said there, Norm, about the Protoss player keeping his mineral count below 400 for both minerals and gas, whereas the Zerg player, he's been floating close to 800, 900, 1,000 minerals at any given time. His gas is low, but his mineral count has been so high for this entire game, whereas the Protoss player has been able to manage those minerals so well, just constantly producing it, and everything is so crisp. And now Colossus coming out to mix with those Void Rays, he's creating that death ball that so many Zerg players fear, and the mixing in of the Void Rays is just so devastating. The Void Rays just are so painful to deal with when you have Colossus and Stalkers and Sentries, because the Hydras will usually do so well against those Void Rays, but now with Colossus and Force Fields, those Hydras are going to be so far back, it's going to be tough for them to do much damage.
Transitioning probes also. It's kind of interesting. He went for a double Stargate initially, and it wasn't actually scouted. And the Stargate's actually producing nothing. That second Stargate could have been another Robo. I mean, having two Robos to pump out Colossus would be the best thing, especially when you know there's a Hydra Roach army. And he does have a Thermal Lance actually finished. I'm a little disappointed when Hemlock didn't. He didn't go for any drops. This map, I guess it's one of those things that after a while, once people are really used to this map, Zerg drops, even any kind of drops on this map, are perfect. Because hitting up that main with that curve around that natural area, the high ground will kill your army completely, especially against Protoss and the Colossus. Dropping in the back, there are places to drop for the natural, there are places to drop for the main, and even for that third base. It would have been a very good strategy for Hemlock to do that. He is actually double expanding right now, though.
Yeah, good point with those drops. I mean, this is a big open map, lots of spaces, and now actually you mentioned the double expansion, the Protoss expanding at the 6 o'clock as well. There is an Overlord that can see that, so the minimap will show Hemlock that there's an expansion going down there. He might move on that at some point. The creep spread's decent creep spread, but as you said, if he'd been spreading this a little bit earlier, he could probably be closer to the middle of the map now with that creep.
Oh yeah, he could cover all those Zonaka towers, and he could have a base pretty much on that high ground in the middle. He does have a decent number of Corruptors to take out the Colossus. I think he has 13 Corruptors right now. His armor composition is good, but you know what? This is actually the point of the game where he needs Infestors.
And he does have an Infestation Pit and a Hive going down, but no Infestors or Research going down. And now here comes the Protoss ball moving out the nearly maxed out Protoss army against a maxed out Zerg army. Protoss is going to be favored in that case, and it's going to be up to the Zerg to kind of deal with it and then remax if that's the case.
Yeah, he actually, on the Protoss side, no proxy bottles being put up, and his army, so many massive units. If this Protoss army does not hold, Zerg is going to do very well. And Zerg actually positioning itself for the counter with both players on the high ground. The Roach is going to swoop around. Colossus actually getting some good hits, but Corruptors are swooping in, and actually Overlords even on the back, maybe to fake a dropout. And Overlord's going on top of the Protoss army. Great force fields actually blocking, keeping those Hydras far away. The Roaches have to swoop around, and I think Protoss is actually going to take this battle fairly handily. His Corruptors could not take down the Colossus fast enough.
Yeah, and the Corruptors may still survive long enough to deal a lot of damage to the Void Rays are gone now, and one or two Colossus may still fall before the end here, as there's just a couple of Stalkers. So both players broke almost even there, but now the Zerg player supplied 145.
Reinforcements were the key, and Protoss actually reinforced very well, even though without any proxy pylon. Roach is being popped up. Actually, all the rally point for all of Hemlock's army was still at his main ramp between his natural and his main. If he had rallied those, he actually is loading up Overlords right now. If he had rallied those to closer to the central battle area, he could have taken the rest of those Stalkers out and then used those Corruptors to take out the Colossi up. And right now, two Colossus still alive. Actually, Will does not see the Overlord swooping around his army. All four right now of Roaches, and they're going for his base.
Yeah, and this is the issue now. Look at the worker count: 80 probes to 59 drones, and those probes are going to be mining out the natural, and the main is almost mined out, and that fourth base is going to go down from these Roaches, and so that's probably way too many probes to be on just 3 bases, and that's going to be costing him. It's going to keep his army from being large enough. Because the Protoss is going to max out, but he's going to have 80 probes worth of supply there, so he needs to find some way to take a base and make use of those probes or start to get rid of them.
Perfect drop over by Hemlock, takes out, snipes the Nexus. He actually needs to move this around so he doesn't get caught by Will's units. Will does not have Blink yet. Oh my gosh, those pros actually have no place to go. They were rallied. Actually, they're about 18 probes right now, and Hemlock with this army, 16 Roaches, he could just swoop into the main base or the third base and take it out. I think with all his Roaches, he should be able to take out those photon cannons and take out a ton of units. He needs to drop them right now or his Overlord's going to get sniped.
Does so now, and the Protoss army out of position in the middle of the map. We can see them flooding down now, and all the probes. You can look at all
They
of those
are rushing. Those probes need to run away. So many probes. If you take out this Nexus, actually, it's going to be very good for Hemlock, because that means